Hello, everybody. This is your girl, Bless Abundantly. You guys on Facebook know me as Moniece. I just need to talk about this. This is unbelievable. And you have to forgive the background noise. I'm drying clothes and I got the fans going. It's been hot. It's been a tornado warning, and thank God it has passed through Wayne County. Okay. Now let's talk about this. This is Lil Nas X and Nike's new Satan sneakers. The 666 pair, real human blood. Do you hear me? Okay. Rapper Lil Nas X, who has a huge fan base among children, nearly broke the internet yesterday when his new video showed the rapper giving a gay lap dance to a satanic figure. Now, MTO News has learned Lil Nas X appears to be doubling down on his new satanic image. According to the popular sneaker website Saint, Lil Nas X is teaming up with, you have to forgive my notifications, Lil Nas is teaming up with MSCHF and Nike to launch his new Satan shoes. The company will only create 666 pairs of the limited edition sneaker. Y'all better not buy this for your kids. Your kids better not buy it. If you are a Christian, you don't have no business buying nothing like this. Y'all thought people was going crazy when they was talking about blood sacrifices and all this satanic stuff that's happening with Hollywood and stuff that's been going on in the music industry and the stuff that's been going on with these mega pastors. See, I need to talk about Aleister Crowley tomorrow. I do need to talk about him. I wanted to do a cooking show, but we need to talk about this stuff because this stuff is happening right before our eyes. Okay, remember 3-6 Mafia? And people was buying these folks' album back in the 90s. It was a group called 3-6 Mafia. 666 Mafia. You got Jay-Z with his Aleister Crowley saying on his shirt, "Do as thou will." So we need to talk about this stuff. Let me continue to read on. So the company will only create 666 pairs of the limited edition sneakers, which has a satanic pentagram charm on it. Wow. I have been saying, and I have been telling you, there's other people like A Call for Uprising who has talked about the pentagram. Truth Unedited has talked about the pentagram, and people just blew me off as being crazy and too religious and all of this other stuff. And according to Saint, what? Each sneaker will contain 1 drop of human blood inside it. Now, y'all thought people was going crazy when they said that they was literally taking a satanic bath in blood on the videos. These are music artists. And telling you that they sold. And I will be, I'm already subscribed to A Call for Uprising, but I will start, going on to the websites that he has created. And it's only a small fee of $3 per month. And he ain't showing nobody new pictures. He ain't showing nobody sex videos. None of that stuff. He's educating the people and helping people to open up their eyes. Okay. So I hope this opened up people's eyes. You see this sneaker? It'll contain 1 drop of human blood inside. Inside the sneaker box shown on the Saint website is the phrase, better the reign in hell than to serve in heaven. Wow. I want you guys to open up your eyes to what your kids are hearing. And the music, people thought I was bugging. Say, oh, I was being too churchy when I was talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire and how they was introducing their audience to TM because the Beatles did it with the Sgt. Pepper Lonely Heart Club Band album. They introduced their audience to TM, transcendent meditation, TM for short. And Maurice White and Earth, Wind, and Fire did the same thing. And people still bought the albums regardless of how many pyramids and all this occultist stuff was on the album. They still bought it into their home. And you had Christians doing the same thing. Kirk Franklin sit up there taking their songs and change them, or call himself changing them into gospel. Do y'all remember when they used to call the word bad to mean good back in the 80s? They say, if they say something like, oh, that's bad. Oh, that car is bad, to mean it was good, but it never changed its meaning to the word good. It went back to being bad, horrible, opposite of good. It always meant that. And when I tell people about the El Diablo hand signal, the devil's horn, people want to sit there and blow it off as if I'm crazy. You got all these Christians using the devil's horn. And Antoine LaFay got on TV years ago and said that means that's the sign of the curse. And he was the pastor of the Church of Satan. Got on TV in an interview. It says the sign of the curse. And you had these satanic rock and roll singers sit up there and tell you that means to rock on. Ozzy Osbourne, I'm not surprised that his wife is and their whole household is probably prejudiced, racist. Hitler was too, and he was a Satanist. Ozzy Osbourne, his wife has always been Satan worshipers. He sung lead for Black Sabbath. They had, this automatic writing going on to where they went to the devil to get their songs. He had a song called Mr. Crowley, singing about a Satanist called Aleister Crowley. So when people are telling you about the music industry, they're not trying to be too religious. People have been talking about Jay-Z. There's a song that if you play backwards, it says 666, murder, murder, Jesus. On the Jay-Z song. Beyonce on the Super Bowl halftime. Change it to Sasha Fierce. Her and Nicki Minaj both said that they had alter egos. Let's read what this said. The shoe also carry a Bible verse on it. Luke 10 and 18. What? Oh, here it go. So you want to know what the lightning sign means? It represents Satan's fall. There's a group called, what is that group? Led Zeppelin, or what did they use the lightning and the name of the group? Is it Led Zeppelin or to represent Satan's fall? Now you know people is not playing when they, and I'm not saying that just because they show that, oh, it's going to be thundering tomorrow, they have the little lightning. No, we're not talking about that. We talk about if you look at some of these singers and some of the signs that they use and stuff. Here is the verse from Luke 10 and 18. And he said to them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Some of these people worship Lucifer. Lucifer means the light bearer. They follow a false light. One of them has said that she had a dream. That she had went into some type of house and seen somebody doing some unseemly things, having sex or whatever else. And she saw this false light. And she gave the interpretation of what she thought that light was. I was thinking that the Lord was telling her that she was following a false light. That was just me, But she gave another interpretation of what she felt the Spirit of God gave her. But I say this to say that, to say this. I say that to say this. That if you listen to David E. Taylor and some of these people talking, they sit up there and they talk to Jesus face to face. And we just now learned about yoga, where people are sitting up there doing this meditation and stuff. And I shared that video about meditation. A South Florida pastor sitting up there going to some conference called The Awakening. These people sit up here doing yoga and stuff and get into this meditation to where they talking to demons. If y'all ever, I'll tell you, to buy the book called, I have it right here, This Present Darkness. It tells you it tells you about it. It's a pastor, he became pastor in a small town of a church, had a few members, and had members in the church coming against him. Now, he was voted in. Some of them that didn't like his teaching and stuff of the Bible was still trying to figure out how in the world did he get voted in. So they was doing everything they could to vote him out, and they was going to some woman. The one guy who was a cop, the chief of police, was going to some woman, and he happened to be a member of that church too. But him and another big time pastor who had a large congregation was going to this woman and taking his meditation class and everything from this satanic woman who was actually talking to a demon, who was actually serving that demon of that town. In the book, it shows you that these demons, some of them rule over towns. Some of them are over towns and stuff, and they show how they was ranked and how they, rule over certain areas and everything. And the heavenly host was there because that town was not supposed to be taken over like that. And they was there to ensure that not only that pastor stayed, that pastor had the small congregation, the man of God stayed and was covered, his family was covered, but also the newspaper man that came to town. But in that, it shows you what they do doing yoga and everything. It's more of the mental than physical. You're opening up a third eye that they call, and a condoleting spirit comes from the base of the spine all the way up to the skull and all of that. It's not good. You tapping into the demonic and everything else, and messing with Ouija boards. You tapping into the demonics, and they said there are certain pastors that's going over to Africa and having witch doctors speak over them and all that stuff. You had Flavor Flav went over to South Africa. He went over to Africa. And after he came back, and his cousin told this right in the church, because his cousin is a minister. His cousin said around the early 2000, around 2005, 2006, that Flavor Flav went over to Africa and had somebody cast a spell on him or do some ritual over him. And after that, he started blowing up. He had the flavor of love and all this stuff that when he was falling in love with that white woman that played in Rocky IV as the Russian husband. She was also played as Rhea Sonia back in the 90s. But I guess she started having a drinking problem, something like that. But he started messing around with her. Then he had this Flavor of Love come out, and then afterwards you seen I Love New York come. You know, he started blowing up for a minute all over the place. But just as soon as he got on TV, he was off. So now they got this sneaker, and now you see this rapper Little Nas, and we talked about rap was the last genre to enter into the music business. And you notice by the late 80s, it became gangster rap. It seemed like rap transformed from just rapping about sneakers and basketball to calling women hoes and bees. And you had people in the 90s talk about they sold right in the song, Snoop Dogg, Eazy-E. So here it is. He got a scripture there too, talk about the fall of Satan, like lightning. Okay? Little Nas was reportedly wearing the new sneakers on his album, Montreal. MTO, I hope I'm saying it right, News has uncovered, okay? It's not clear whether Little Nas X is trolling or whether he's truly a Satanist, but the child-friendly rapper has a lot of people, especially Christian parents, concerned by his new stance. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I want you to know that if you are a Christian, you have no business buying these sneakers. Matter of fact, I'm not buying another Nike sneaker again. Excuse me for my sniffly. I need to breathe a minute. But we talked about little Uzi Vert. Little Uzi Vert. Well, if you say his name fast, little Uzi Vert, if you say it really fast, you'll be saying Lucifer. And they not only pushing Satanism, but they pushing homosexuality. And you see it that they pushing it in church as well too. You got a lot of these pastors, big name preachers that are living a homosexual lifestyle. And a lot of them didn't come out in the early 2000s because they saw what happened to Carlton Pearson. So you see two things right here. They push it, and you see it with the Biden administration and everything. People will be like, I'm wrong because you could be gay and be saved. That's between you and God, okay? That's between, I got gay people in my family who are not Satanism, and I love them. I got gay people in the adopted family and in the biological family. And I love them just as much. And if they feel like you could be gay and saved, that's between you and God. I'm reading the Bible where it says that's an abomination, okay? But the worst thing that's going on right here is the Satanism. The pushing of sitting up there pushing Satanism around. Whether you're gay or straight, okay? This is the worst thing that's going on right now. They sitting up there and slowly indoctrinating this into people. We was wondering, how is the mark of the beast is gonna come? It is you see now that hey, that ain't nobody the rapture didn't take place yet, and they start to push this stuff. Because I read, and my interpretation of the Bible is this, that this stuff was gonna start happening before the rapture coming. Then the rapture was gonna take place. Once the tribulation period happened, all this stuff happened that Mark 24 said. Okay, then the rapture was gonna happen. Even the Bible said the Lord himself was to descend from heaven with a shout. Okay, dead in Christ was going to rise first, and then the people that's alive or remain that's in Christ was to meet him in the air. Okay? But right now, we have to be praying and seeking God. And we got a lot of false prophets in the church. People who are sitting up there and is getting their vision and their prophecies from demons. So I just want to leave this with you guys. I gotta go. We're gonna talk about it some more about the music industry. There's tons and tons of videos out there. I gotta get his name again. And matter of fact, I have to share a video. He shared a lot on. If you look up on YouTube, they sold for rock and roll. You will see a ton of stuff. The songs that I used to like. You will see a ton of stuff that he did on the rock and roll industry, the music, on the music industry, period. With rock and roll, rap, even with pop music. Guys, when I look at how the way Michael Jackson used to do that moonwalk, nobody, and people think everybody did that like Michael Jackson. Everybody did moonwalk like Michael Jackson. I actually looked at Michael Jackson's feet. Nobody can do the moonwalk like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, if you look at the video that he did with that reporter, he did an interview with I can't think of his name, but it was one of the interviews that was very damaging to him back in the early 2000s, where he was holding this boy's hand. He had his kids and everything, but they showed his kids later on, they showed his kids at a hotel in Vegas. But then they showed him holding this little boy's hands. That was somebody else's kids. Talk about this was his best friend. In that interview, you could see when it first starts off, Michael Jackson is telling him how he got his songs. He tells him that he talked to Lee all the time, which was Liberace. Liberace been dead since the late 80s. Then he tells him that sometimes he sits up at his tree. I think it's the tree of life or something like that they call it. And gets his songs from there. So you have people like, what's that lady that played all the turns over there, man? Shirley MacLaine. With these crystals and sit up there calling on dead spirits and everything. For roles that she had to do. And talk about Atlantis, a place that's supposed to be under the sea or something like that. You had even Hillary Clinton talking about she talked to Eleanor Roosevelt to get her advice, and Bill Clinton said that's what Hillary wanted him to say the one time when he was speaking to the crowd, that she had just talked to Eleanor. What? Half her campaign, when she was running against Donald Trump, the campaign went to a spear cooking. And you can look that up on A Call for Uprising. He did a video on that. There was a lady called Marino Abramovich. Anthony Bourdain was dating a witch. Let me let you know about Anthony Bourdain. I say, A Call for Uprising, he did a video about that too, because Anthony Bourdain's girlfriend was a witch, okay? They both had a snake tattoo on their arm. He ate the heart of a snake. They cut it out while the snake was still alive and the heart was still beating, and he ate that heart. Now, I've seen that with my own two eyes. Both him and Kate Spade died around the same time. And they said it was both suicide or something like that. It was mysterious. Look that, I'll tell you, you guys go to A Call for Uprising and find that video that he did on Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade. And you'll see just what I'm talking about. I got to go. God bless you. You have a wonderful, great night. I want you guys to be on alert. This is ridiculous. This mess is going on right before our eyes. And now you see I'm not bugging. I'm not being too deep or too religious. I'm just letting you know what's going on, okay? Have a great night.